As you guys probably heard, Russia is currently invading the Ukraine. Not quite sure how bad it's going to get, although Putin did give a pretty chilling speech this morning, basically declaring his intentions to take Ukraine over. And I've been seeing a lot of propaganda online. And I think the one thing that we got to bear in mind here is to remember what's real and what's not. Now, the Russians are very good propagandists. We know this from the last election or the election before. And these guys know how to divide us. I just got to say, straight up, Ukraine is a sovereign country. They declared independence after the USSR was dissolved. And it's even worse than that. In 1994, there was a thing called the Budapest Memorandum. Now, Ukraine had a bunch of nuclear weapons after the USSR collapsed. And Russia, along with Britain and United States, said, if you give up your nuclear weapons, we will assure your security. And Ukraine said, great, take the nukes, but you promise not to invade us. Obviously, nuclear weapons are a great deterrent. Well, everybody signed it, and now Russia's invading them. They wouldn't really be able to do that if Ukraine had nukes. You know what I mean? It's a pure act of aggression, my dudes. It's just straight warmongering, and it's just straight war crimes. Now, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see lots of whataboutism. The United States has done horrible. Yes. Everybody knows the United States is a terrible war criminal. You know, just last week, I was shocked and appalled that the Biden announced that America is going to keep the money from the Afghani central bank and donate it to victims of 9/11, just 9/11, something they had nothing to do with. By the way, that's just money of common people. It's disgusting. It makes me want to puke, dude, in disgust. But it's got nothing to do with Ukraine. Okay? That is whataboutism. Yes, America is horrible. We do horrible things. But we're talking about Russia. Don't let them distract you with that crap. You have a huge army invading a sovereign country. You're going to hear things like Russia's going to be saying, we're defending ourselves. Putin said there was a genocide going on against Russian separatists in Ukraine. That's just a lie. You know, Putin's doing the stop hitting yourself defense. Hey, dude, he can't stop. He's, you know, hey, stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. That's a lie. It's just not happening. The reason that Russia's invading Ukraine is because Putin's popularity is in question. This is a good way to consolidate power. And he's afraid that Ukraine is getting a little too buddy-buddy with NATO, and he's losing a grasp on it. In truth, though, NATO has denied Ukraine membership, and on the horizon, there was no Ukraine-NATO alliance happening. This is just pure warmongering, psycho crap, okay? Now, you're going to see that. But here, what you're going to see that I've started already to notice in conservative media is some really vile shit. Tucker Carlson, for example, is such a good, he's such a good lapdog. On Fox News, the most popular news network in the country, most popular show, he's towing the line of Russian propaganda so well, they're playing his show on Russian state TV. What a good little lapdog.
Since the day that Donald Trump became president, Democrats in Washington have told you have a patriotic duty to hate Vladimir Putin. It's not a suggestion, it's a mandate. Anything less than hatred for Putin is treason. Many Americans have obeyed this directive. They now dutifully hate Vladimir Putin. Maybe you're one of them.
I'm sorry, am I supposed to love him? Is he one of the good guys? I don't get this. It's now partisan to dislike aggressive foreign adversaries. This is a man who interferes in our elections. This is a man who undergoes massive social media campaigns to draw discord in our country. And, well, Tucker is proof that this stuff working. I mean, here, we'll continue.
Hating Putin has become the central purpose of America's foreign policy. It's the main thing that we talk about. Entire cable channels are now devoted to it. Very soon, that hatred of Vladimir Putin could bring the United States into a conflict in Eastern Europe. Before that happens, it might be worth asking yourself, since it is getting pretty serious, what is this really about? Why do I hate Putin so much? Has Putin ever called me a racist? Has he threatened to get me fired for disagreeing with him?
Right.
Has he shipped every middle-class job in my town to Russia? Did he manufacture a worldwide pandemic that wrecked my business and kept me indoors for 2 years? Is he teaching my children to embrace racial discrimination? Is he making fentanyl? Is he trying to snuff out Christianity?
Maybe.
Does he eat dogs?
Does he
These
eat
are fair
dogs?
questions. And the
Does he eat dogs, of course, is the cornerstone of all foreign policy. Now, I love dogs as much as the next guy, but I don't think, as much as I dislike people eating dogs, I don't consider that a war crime. Funny he included that, though. An idiot. Yeah, of course, Tucker saying, remember, the real war is with the woke left, who apparently is trying to snuff out Christianity. Goes, yo, listen, Putin hates gay people just as much as we do. He's one of the good guys. Yeah, according to Putin, by the way, he says there's no gay people in Russia. 0. He goes, yo, we're just that straight. We're just that alpha. Seriously, look it up. He says there's no gay people in Russia. Being gay in Russia, I think, is punishable by death still. So we like that. Obviously, Tucker identifies. So remember the real enemy, guys.
The answer to all of them is no. Vladimir Putin didn't do any of that. So why does permanent Washington hate him so much?
Yes, the real enemy are the people calling you a racist. Tucker, you are a racist. If people keep telling you that, you might want to just reflect on it a little bit. It doesn't mean you need to go to war. And it doesn't mean you need to defend Daddy Putin either. You don't want to destabilize Europe, guys. Bad things happen when you destabilize Europe. Every time. Every time. Here's another Tucker take that you guys are going to love. This one possibly more unhinged than the last.
So the contrast between official concern over the borders of Ukraine and official neglect of our own borders is pretty hard to miss. We've returned to it again and again. And we think we've solved the riddle here. When Ukraine is invaded, it's a war crime. When the United States is invaded, it's equity.
Yeah, so a full-on military invasion of Russia is exactly the same as people from Mexico and South America seeking asylum in America. It's the same thing. What the hell is this? This is insanity. This is pure, unadulterated brain rot. This is how is this being televised? This man is straight doing Russian propaganda on mainstream television. Russia is literally throwing bombs into Ukraine right now. But what about the immigrants? What about the immigrants? Same shit. You know?
And that may be why the Biden administration has admitted thousands of refugees into this country without vetting them. Just last week, the Pentagon acknowledged that dozens of evacuees from Afghanistan had, quote, potentially significant security concerns. So when the Pentagon calls something a potentially significant security concerns, you should be concerned. But these people were allowed into this country anyway because equity. Let's change the population as fast as we can so we never lose an election. Oh, you can't say that. Well, it's true.
This guy he's a danger to the world. He's talking about white replacement theory, of course. The only reason we're letting immigrants is because we want to replace all white people and not something that we've done since the inception of this country. America is all about giving sovereign is about giving, refuge to the poor, to the political prisoners, only if they're white, though. Of course, Russians are white, so Tucker would be more than happy to welcome them at our borders. If only they would invade us, Tucker thinks to himself at night.
But back to the core point. How can people be this worried about Ukraine's borders and this careless with our own?
It's a full-on military invasion. This is a straight-up war. We're talking about tanks and airplanes and cruise missiles versus, a couple of dudes running across the desert trying to climb over a wall and then go wash some dishes at a restaurant. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Why do people say I'm racist? I just think people looking for a better life in America is the same as a full-on military invasion. You dumb, vapid, racist fuck.
This has not escaped the attention of J.D. Vance. He is running for Senate in Ohio, and we are happy to have him join us.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to win. And Tucker he loves the Russian propaganda. In fact, he touches himself at night to the picture of Putin on a horseback. Yeah, it's rumored that he has this framed on his wall, and it's his phone screen. In fact, this is just what he's into. So, invade me, Daddy. That's what Tucker says. Invade me, please, Daddy. And even Donald Trump, who has notoriously been Putin's best friend. They have a tremendous relationship. He definitely doesn't have a video of me of prostitutes peeing on me. Oh, really? Well, explain this.
We know Russia has said that they are recognizing 2 breakaway regions of Ukraine. And now this White House is stating that this is an invasion. That's a strong word. What went wrong here? What has the current occupant of the Oval Office done that he could have done differently?
Well, what went wrong was a rigged election. And what went wrong is a candidate that shouldn't be there and a man that has no concept of what he's doing. I went in yesterday and there was a television screen and I said, this is genius. Putin declares a big portion of the Ukraine. Putin declares it as independent. Oh, that's wonderful. So Putin is now saying it's independent, a large section of Ukraine. I said, how smart is that? And he's going to go.
He's such a genius. He's so beautiful. I admire him so much. He's just going in there and taking Ukraine. It's beautiful.
And be a peacekeeper. That's the strongest peace force. We could use that on our southern border.
Here we go.
That's the strongest peace.
Yeah, Ukraine. Yeah, Russia is blatantly invading sovereign countries. But what about the southern border? I mean, the woke police really are going to complain about an all-out war when there's a couple thousand immigrants coming into a country of over 300 million?
Peace force I've ever seen. There were more army tanks than I've ever seen. They're going to keep peace all right. No, but think of it. Here's a guy who's very savvy. I know him very well. Very, very well. By the way, this never would have happened with us.
Sure.
Had I been in office.
You would roll out the red carpet for him, bro. You practically are.
Not even thinkable. This would never have happened. But here's a guy that says, I'm going to declare.
This is insane.
A big portion of Ukraine independent. He used the word independent.
It's crazy.
And we're going to go out and we're going to go in and we're going to help keep peace. You got to say that's pretty savvy.
That's
and you
insane.
know what the response was from Biden? There was no response. They didn't have one for that. No, it's very sad.
This is insane. I mean, can you paint him in a better light? This homicidal warmongering dictator? He's beautiful, folks. Savvy peacekeeper. Now that's genius. I tell you what, folks, he's got the best prostitutes. They give you the golden showers. It's fantastic. What else? I mean, this is a freak show. This really is irredeemably insane. Meanwhile, Donald Trump doesn't even know what's going on. Like, here he is on Laura Ingraham.
And I ask the members of Security Council to convene an emergency meeting immediately and consider all necessary draft decisions.
All right, we're going to monitor this, continue to monitor his statements. We'll go back to President Trump for a quick reaction. We had a kind of a really pathetic display from the Ukrainian president, actually imploring Vladimir Putin not to invade his country. Now we basically have the Ukrainian ambassador to the United Nations looking like a defeated man. Your final reaction?
Pathetic. This man is beta. He's asking Russia, please don't invade us. He's not alpha. And alpha would drop the nuke, no questions asked. I'll tell you what an alpha do. He'd stop that southern border. You know? What about Mexico? They got you guys. This is Russian propaganda. Straight through the mouths of Fox News. He's weak? Is that really the take? Ukraine weak, Putin strong. Okay.
Action.
Well, I think the whole thing, again, would have never happened. It shouldn't happen. And it's a very sad thing. But you know what's also very dangerous is you told me about the amphibious attack by Americans. You shouldn't be saying that because you and everybody else shouldn't know about it. They should do that secretly, not be doing that through the great Laura Ingraham. They should be doing that secretly. Nobody should know that, Laura. And, you know,
that was the Russian. Those are the Russian amphibious landing.
No, I thought you said that we were sending people in.
No, I did not. No. That would be.
Yes. The sharp Donald Trump. I love how conservatives make fun of Joe Biden for being a total, his brain is melted, which it is. But here's Donald Trump on live television being like, hey, the United States is invading Russia. Isn't that crazy? She's like, no. Good stuff, man. Clearly fine-tuned into the foreign politics. And, you know, one last thing from the weekend, just to put a little cap on this. The Weeknd, yes, the musical artist. Hold on. Super excited. He says, let's go. He just tweeted that right as Russia invaded Ukraine. So he's hyped about that. So glad he's following the news. Let's go. That's powerful, right? That's good. There you go.
Wow, Ethan, great moves.